After 12 hours in the ER saving a child's life, I came home to an empty house. My dog was gone, my tools were missing, and a single text lit up my screen. I took everything you loved. You shouldn't have missed my birthday. I ran to my brother's place. Her car was in the driveway. I knocked. She answered, wearing his shirt. He just said, "You weren't enough." I left without a word. A week later, I showed them what that silence meant. After 12 hours in the ER saving a child's life, I came home to an empty house. My dog was gone, my tools were missing, and a single text lit up my screen. I took everything you loved. You shouldn't have missed my birthday. I ran to my brother's place. Her car was in the driveway. I knocked. She answered, wearing his shirt. He just said, "You weren't enough." I left without a word. A week later, I showed them what that silence meant. I've never really told anyone this full story. Not my friends, not even my mom. But I'm going to tell it here because it's eating me alive, and maybe someone out there will understand what silence really means. I work in the ER in Indianapolis. Been there for over a decade. It's not glamorous. It's not like the shows. It's blood, broken families, addicts, pain, and sometimes, just sometimes, we save someone. That day, a 5-year-old came in coding. Her heart had stopped at daycare. Her lips were blue, her body limp. I don't know how long we worked on her. Felt like a year. Chest compressions. For lines. Breath after breath. I was soaked in sweat. Then, like a miracle, her heart picked up. I saw that monitor beep, and I swear, it was the most alive I've ever felt. I collapsed in the break room after, just staring at the wall. My shift should have ended hours ago, but we were short. I stayed. Didn't even think about it. That's what I do. When I finally left the hospital, the sun was almost down. My scrubs were stiff with blood and sweat. I was beyond tired. I just wanted to get home, shower, eat something, crash on the couch with Max, my dog. Maybe watch some trash TV. Just exist. Instead, I walked into a nightmare. The front door wasn't locked. That was weird. Max didn't bark, didn't run to me. That was weirder. I stepped inside. It was too quiet. I called out for Max. Nothing. The living room looked fine at first. Then I saw the coat rack tipped over. The closet open. Her coats?
Gone.
Her shoes?
Gone.
I walked down the hall like I was stepping through fog.
My tools gone.
Everything my dad left me, even the old wooden toolbox with his initials carved into the side.
Gone.
Her dresser drawers were empty. No note. No signs of a struggle. Just absence. Then my phone buzzed. I took everything you loved. You shouldn't have missed my birthday. That message was like someone drove a nail through my chest. Not because I missed her birthday. Because she waited to do this. Planned it. Picked the exact time she knew I'd be vulnerable. She knew I was saving a kid's life. She knew. And still, she did this. And she took Max.
My dog.
My best friend. I rescued him 6 years ago. He'd been by my side through deaths in the family, job stress, arguments. He was mine. And she took him to make a point. I texted.
Called.
Nothing. Then it hit me, Jake. My younger brother. Jake had always been too friendly with her. Like I'd catch them laughing a little too long, or her texting when she thought I was asleep. Once, I asked her why she had his hoodie. She said he left it after watching the game. I believed her. Because I didn't want to believe anything else. Now I knew. I drove to his place without even thinking. It was instinct. His house is off Anderson Street, just outside the city center. When I pulled up, I saw her car in the driveway. Not hidden. Just sitting there like she had every right. I parked across the street. My hands were shaking. I wasn't angry yet. I was empty. I walked up.
Knocked.
She opened the door. Barefoot. Hair wet. Wearing his shirt, not one he lent her while we were dating. A different one. One I'd seen him wear dozens of times. She didn't say a word. Then Jake stepped up behind her. Holding a beer. Didn't even look ashamed. Just looked at me like he was bored. You weren't enough, he said. That was it. Not sorry. Not let me explain.
Just that.
I stood there, heart pounding, blood boiling, eyes burning. I looked at her. She didn't look away. I turned around and walked back to my truck. No yelling. No begging. No fists. Just silence. And silence, it has weight. You can feel it pressing down when someone should react but doesn't. They thought that silence meant I was done. Defeated. But it wasn't surrender. It was preparation. A week later, I showed them what that silence meant. The first 2 days after I left Jake's house, I didn't go to work. I called in sick, told them I needed a mental break. My boss didn't even ask questions. He could hear it in my voice.
I didn't eat much.
I didn't sleep much. I just sat in my garage, staring at the empty spot where my tool chest used to be, and thought. I thought about her text.
About Max.
About Jake's face when he said those words. Like I was just some weak thing they'd outgrown. They didn't just cheat on me. They didn't just lie. They erased me. So I started planning. First, I checked my old iPad. We used to share a cloud account. She never unlinked it. I started scrolling through her photos. Her location. Her messages. Most of it was the usual junk. Then I found a series of screenshots she had saved in a hidden folder. Conversations between her and Jake. Explicit stuff. But more than that, mocking me. Making fun of the way I worked nights. Joking that I was too tired to notice anything. Saying I was so married to the ER, she figured she'd take someone who actually stayed home. That was the moment the rage really hit. But I didn't lash out. I got focused. She'd sold my tools, I found out. I checked her Venmo. She got $600 from some guy named Travis for garage gear. My dad's socket set, the one he gave me before he passed away, was in there. I messaged Travis. Said I was a cop. Told him those tools were stolen property. He panicked, said he'd give them back if I didn't press charges. I agreed.
Picked them up that night.
He left them on the porch. Everything was there. Even the little note my dad taped inside the lid. One win. But it wasn't enough. Max was still gone. And they were still walking around like nothing happened. So I made another call. To my cousin Nick in Kokomo. Nick's not a bad guy, but let's just say he's had experience getting people's attention the hard way. I didn't ask him to hurt anyone. I just told him I needed some chaos around Jake and her. He laughed and said, "Finally time to stop being the nice guy, huh?" That Friday night, Jake's neighbors got an anonymous tip about a loud domestic fight at his place. Cops showed up. Found weed in the garage. Nick might have helped that happen. Jake got cited. Nothing major, but enough to rattle him. He tried to call me the next day. I didn't answer. Then I hit her where it hurt. She'd been using my Hulu, my Netflix, even my DoorDash. All still logged into my cards. She didn't think I'd cut it off. I changed everything. She tried ordering sushi, denied. She tried watching her trash reality shows, blocked. She couldn't even log into her email because it was still tied to my backup number. It wasn't about money. It was about control. They took everything from me, but they didn't build anything of their own. They were using the world I made. And I was burning it down piece by piece. The best part? They still didn't know what was coming next. By the second week, the cracks started to show. I heard from a mutual friend that Jake had been suspended from his job. He was a shift manager at a warehouse. Apparently, someone sent HR a video of him drunk, ranting about his boss, and calling in sick while partying. I didn't have to guess who sent it. Nick had friends with access to things most people don't. He didn't get fired, just put on unpaid leave while they reviewed the complaint. She, meanwhile, was unraveling faster. I still had access to her private Instagram, and the posts were getting weird. Sad quotes. Cryptic song lyrics. One of those black screen stories that said, "Some people don't know what they had until it's gone." I laughed. She still had no idea just how much she was about to lose. Because here's the thing. I had dirt.
On both of them.
Jake and I had been business partners once. Back before the ER, we tried running a mobile detailing company together. We split after 6 months. But before we did, Jake fudged some tax paperwork. Used my name on some invoices. I kept screenshots. I sent them to his HR anonymously. They opened an investigation. Suddenly, his unpaid leave turned into a sit-down meeting with company lawyers. He called me again, left a voicemail. "I know you're doing this," he said. "Just talk to me, man. We're blood."
Blood.
That word tasted like rust. Then came the part even I didn't see coming. Max. One night I got home from the grocery store and there was a little envelope taped to my door. No name. Just sorry. Inside was a flash drive. I plugged it into my laptop. A video started. It was Max sitting in a small backyard, tail wagging, tongue out, same red collar. Then her voice. "You miss him, don't you?" The camera panned around. She was holding it, filming. Jake's voice chimed in. "Maybe if you hadn't been so damn selfish, you'd still have him." She zoomed in on Max's face. "Say hi to Daddy," she said in a baby voice, giggling. Then the screen went black. That's when something inside me broke. They weren't just cruel. They were performing their cruelty. Like it was a joke. Like I was the punchline. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I opened a new file and started typing every single thing I knew about them. Real names, addresses, job history, photos, every shady move they'd ever made. I compiled it all into a file and uploaded it to 3 places. Insurance, just in case I got arrested. But that wasn't my plan. My plan was something colder. Something that would haunt them forever. Because if they wanted to play games, I could play too. And I wasn't going to stop until they were scared to close their eyes. I waited until a Thursday night. They always went out that night. She had yoga, and Jake usually tagged along because the instructor was hot, according to one of his texts I'd read months back. While they were gone, I drove out to Jake's duplex. I didn't break in. I still had the key. It was the spare I gave him when I used to trust him with my life. He probably forgot all about it. The house was a mess. Dishes in the sink. Empty beer cans on the coffee table. Their life was already rotting from the inside. I walked straight into the bedroom. Max was there, curled up on a dirty blanket. His head shot up when he saw me.
He didn't bark.
He whimpered, stood up, tail wagging slow at first, then fast. He ran straight to me. I dropped to my knees and hugged him like I hadn't breathed in weeks. He licked my face. I choked back tears. I clipped his leash on and whispered, "We're going home." But I wasn't done yet. I left a letter on Jake's pillow. It was short. "You said I wasn't enough. Let's see how much of me you can live without." Then I went back to my truck and drove straight to the county courthouse. I filed an official report about the tax fraud with Jake's name, dates, evidence, everything. I sent the same report to the IRS. I also emailed her yoga studio a copy of the video of her taunting me with my stolen dog. Just a little reminder of the kind of person they were sponsoring. Then I went one step further. Remember those shared accounts? The ones I cut her off from? I restored one of them. The cloud storage. And I uploaded every dirty photo she ever took, every screenshot she saved of their affair, every disgusting message they shared about me, and I sent it to her parents. Her mom messaged me. One line, "I'm so sorry. You deserved better." I didn't reply, because I didn't need anything from them anymore. A month later, Jake lost his job. Not for the drugs or the drinking, but for the tax stuff. IRS froze his account. He tried to say it was my fault. HR didn't care. He was gone. She lost her yoga instructor gig after the studio got backlash over the animal cruelty video. She tried to play victim, said I doctored it. But too many people had seen it. They tried to stay together after that. I could see it on social media. Fake smiles. Posts about rising from the ashes. But eventually she left him. And Jake? Jake messaged me again. A wall of text. No apology. Just anger.
Blame.
He said I destroyed his life. I didn't answer. Because here's the truth. He destroyed it the day he opened the door and said I wasn't enough. I wasn't perfect. I missed signs. I worked too much. I stayed quiet too long. But when it mattered, I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I waited. I took it all in. And when it was time, I gave them exactly what they gave me. Silence at first. And then everything.
They had coming.
Max sleeps at my feet every night now.
My tools are back where they belong.
My world is quiet again. But not empty. Not anymore.